iiwan. Math-sayang Math-aral, tayo ng Math-tuto upang ika'y umasenso. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina Math-aral na tayo. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina Math-aral na tayo. Halina Math-aral na tayo. Halina Math-aral na tayo. Halina, 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 Math-aral na tayo.
Magandang araw! Maraming salamat mga Batang MANDunong and home learning partners sa patuloy na pagtutok dito sa Project SOAR, series of online academic reviews of mathematics CLAID learning modules. I'm Ma'am Karen Sota, a teacher from Andres Bonifacio Integrated School and your moderator for Week 8. Bago tayo magpatuloy, nais ko muna kayong anyayahan na bisitahin, i-like at i-follow ang aming official Facebook page, Math Team, Mathematics Teachers Association of Mandaluyong. I-like at i-share ang video na to at mag-subscribe na rin kayo sa aming official YouTube channel, MTM Channel. Kanina ay napanood natin ang mahusay na pagbabahagi ni Ma'am Joanna Grace ng advanced lesson para sa ating mga grade 8 learners. Ngayon naman, halina't kilalanin natin ang lecturer ng advanced lesson for grade 9 with the topic Application of Pythagorean Theorem. A graduate of Bachelor of Science in Teaching Mathematics at Western Visayas College of Science and Technology. She is currently taking up Master of Arts in Mathematics Education at Rizal Technological University. An top trainer for 4 years and a very devoted mathematics teacher for 15 years and counting. Get ready, grade 9 learners! Tayo ng matuto kay Mrs. Lea B. Kimora.
A pleasant day, parents, teachers, and learners. Welcome to our Project SOAR, a series of online academic review of mathematics CLAID learning modules. I'm Lea B. Kimora, a grade 9 mathematics teacher of Andres Bonifacio Integrated School, and I will be your reviewer for the 8-week grade 9 mathematics.
Our topic to be reviewed is about applying Pythagorean Theorem in a triangle. The following objectives are: state the definition of Pythagorean Theorem, solve the missing side of a right triangle using Pythagorean Theorem, and classify the types of triangles according to sides and angles by applying the Pythagorean Theorem. Okay, now let's review. Given the measure of the hypotenuse and one of the legs of a right triangle, calculate the length of the other leg. Number 1 figure. The hypotenuse measures 5 and one of the leg measures 3. The result, the other leg measures 4. Number 2 figure. The measure of the hypotenuse is 10 and one of the leg measures 8. Using Pythagorean Theorem, the other leg measures 6. Okay, number 3 figure. The measure of the hypotenuse is 13 and one of the leg measures 12. The result, the measure of the other leg is 5. Number 4 figure. The right triangle measures the hypotenuse, which is 8, and one of the leg measures 4. To use Pythagorean Theorem, the result of the other leg measures 4 square root of 3. Okay, number 5 figure. The hypotenuse measures 11 and one of the leg measures 6. The result, the other leg measures 4 square root of 3. Maybe some of you are thinking, what is a Pythagorean theorem? Pythagorean theorem states that in a right triangle, the square of the length of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the lengths of the legs. So let's have here, right triangle. The sides are A, B, and C. As we all know, C is the hypotenuse, and the two legs are A and B. Okay, so the formula, square of the length of the hypotenuse, which is C, so that will be C squared, is equal to, when we say sum, that is the total of the square of the length. So, sum of A squared and B squared. So, the formula of Pythagorean theorem is C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. In order to prove this theorem, a square figure consisting of four right triangles and an inscribed square with C as each side can be used. 1. Observe that the legs of the four right triangles combine to form a large square. So if one side of the large square is A plus B, now we can have its area as A plus B squared. Next, the area of each triangle is 1/2 AB. This is the formula in finding the area of a triangle. And the area of the small square is C squared. This is the formula in finding the area of a square. The area of the large square is also 4 times the quantity of 1/2 AB plus C squared. 4 and 2 can be cancelled out or can be divided. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So now, 2AB plus C squared. Next, this equality can be expressed as 2AB plus C squared is equals to the quantity of A plus B squared. So we have 2AB plus C squared equals the quantity of A plus B squared. Bring down 2AB plus C squared equals, because of the squared, we are going to multiply by itself. So quantity of A plus B times the quantity of A plus B. Bring down 2AB plus C squared equals, using distributive property, we can have A times A squared. A times B is AB. Then, B times A is AB also. So, AB plus AB is 2AB. Then, B times B is B squared. So, combining like terms, we have here 2AB and then 2AB here. So, we're going to subtract 2AB here. That will become 0 because positive 2AB minus 2AB is 0. Then, B squared. So, the formula now is C squared equals to A squared plus B squared. The Pythagorean theorem can be used to find the length of any side of a right triangle when the lengths of the other two sides are given. Types of triangles according to angles. The first one is acute triangle. A triangle that has angles that are less than 90 degrees but greater than 0. So we have triangle CAB. Angle C measures 62 degrees. Angle A measures 75 degrees and angle B measures 43 degrees. So all the measures greater than 0 but less than 90 degrees. Next, right triangle. A triangle that has one angle whose measures exactly 90 degrees. So we have here right triangle CAB. So notice angle A represents the measure of 90 degrees because of the square. This is the symbol of 90-degree angle. Next, obtuse triangle. A triangle that has one angle that is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So we have here triangle RPQ. Angle R 41 degrees, angle P 105 degrees, and angle Q 34 degrees. What do you think the angle that measures 90 degree but less than 180? That is angle P. So this triangle is an obtuse triangle. Types of triangles according to sides. Scalene triangle. A triangle that has no equal sides. So the measure here of the side, 13 units. This is 9 units and this is 14 units. So the sides are not equal when it comes to its measurement. Isosceles triangle, a triangle that has no equal sides. So what do you think the symbol of this? The symbol of this is equal sides. So if this is 9 units, this will be also 9 units. And then the third one, 14 units. Equilateral triangle, a triangle that has 3 equal sides. So the symbols here are equal. The first side, the second side, and the third sides are equal. Meaning, if the 3 sides are equal, the angles also are equal. So we have 60 degrees, and 60-degree angle. So let's say this is 8 units. This will be also 8 units. And this is also measures 8 units. So from the Pythagorean Theorem, you have learned that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the legs. Notice that the hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle. If the square of the length of the longest side is equal to the sum of the squares of the lengths of the remaining 2 sides, then the triangle is a right triangle. The formula c squared is equals to a squared plus b squared. So malalaman mo kapag ang triangle is right, ang square ng kanyang hypotenuse is equals to the sum of the 2 sides. If the square of the length of the longest side is greater than to the sum of the squares of the lengths of the remaining 2 sides, then the triangle is an obtuse triangle. Meaning, kapag ang kanyang hypotenuse squared is greater than doon sa sum ng a squared plus b squared, ang triangle is obtuse. If the square of the length of the longest side is less than to the sum of the squares of the lengths of the remaining 2 sides, then the triangle is an acute triangle. Kapag naman ang square ng kanyang hypotenuse is less than to the sum of a squared plus b squared, so ang triangle is acute. Okay, let's have the following triangles. Triangle JOY. JO, 6 units. OY, 8 units. And YJ, 10 units. Triangle SUN. Side SU, 8 units. Side UN, 5 units. And side NS, 10 units. Triangle CAR. CA, 6 units. AR, 5 units. And RC, 7 units. Triangle PTO. PT, 7 units. PO, 8 units. And OP, 7 units. These 4 triangles, we will see if what kind of triangle are they by using the Pythagorean Theorem. Okay, let's have an example. In triangle JOY, we have 6, 8, and 10 as the measurements of its sides. So let's compare the square of the length with longest side from the sum of the squares of the remaining 2 sides. So from the Pythagorean Theorem, c squared, this will be blank, and then a squared plus b squared. Mamaya pa natin malalaman kung ito ay maging equal, greater than, or less than. So 6 here will be a, 8 is b, and 10 is the c, the hypotenuse. So 10 squared blank, 6 squared plus 8 squared. So 10 squared is 100, 6 squared is 36, plus 8 squared is 64. So 100, 36 plus 64 is also 100. So the symbol here will be equal. Since c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, therefore the triangle is right. Based on the given triples, 6, 8, 10, we can say that the triangle is a scalene because no sides of a triangle are congruent. The second figure, we have triangle SUN. We have 5, 8, and 10 as the measurements of its sides. Let's compare the square of the length of the longest side from the sum of the squares of the remaining 2 sides. So from the concept of Pythagorean Theorem, we have C squared, that's our first blank, A squared plus B squared. Your A here is 5, B is 8, and C is 10. So 10 squared, this is 5 squared, substitute, this will be 8 squared. So 10 squared is 100, 5 squared is 25, 8 squared is 64. 25 plus 64 is 79, meaning 100 is greater than 79. So since C squared is greater than A squared plus B squared, therefore the triangle is obtuse. Based on the given triples, 5, 8, 10, we can say that the triangle is scalene because no sides of a triangle are congruent. From the third figure, in triangle CAR, we have 5, 6, 7 as the measurements of its sides. So let's compare the square of the length of the longest side from the sum of the squares of the remaining two sides. So we have from the Pythagorean Theorem, C squared, blank muna natin, A squared plus B squared. So your A here is 5, B is 6, and C is 7. So this will be to substitute 7 squared, 5 squared, plus 6 squared. 7 squared is 49. 5 squared is 25. 6 squared is 36. So 25 plus 36 is 61. 49 is less than 61. So since C squared is less than 2A squared plus B squared, therefore the triangle is acute. Based on the given triples 5, 6, 7, we can say that the triangle is scalene because no sides of the triangle are congruent. From the fourth figure, we have triangle POT, 7, 7, and 8 as the measurements of its sides. So let's compare the square of the length of the longest side from the sum of the squares of the remaining two sides. So from the concept of Pythagorean Theorem, we have C squared blank A squared plus B squared. A will be 7, B will be 7 also, and C is equals to 8. So 8 squared blank, this will be 7 squared plus 7 squared. 8 squared is 64, 7 squared is 49, plus 7 squared is 49 also. 49 plus 49 is 98. So 64 is less than 98. So since C squared is less than A squared plus B squared, therefore the triangle is acute. Based on the given triples 7, 7, 8, we can say that the triangle is isosceles because two sides of a triangle are congruent. So this time we will apply Pythagorean Theorem in a problem. The problem is, if the foot of a 10-meter ladder is placed 6 meters from a building, how high up the building will the ladder reach? So the given are 10-meter ladder, and then 6 meters the ladder from a building. What is asked in the problem? Ano daw ang taas ng building na na-reach ng ladder? Okay, so the figure. Ito yung building mo. And then, ito ang 10-meter ladder natin. And then, ang layo ng ladder sa building, 6 meters. So, using Pythagorean Theorem, C squared equals to A squared plus B squared. To substitute, 10 squared equals 6 squared plus X squared. 10 squared is 100. 6 squared is 36. Plus, bring down lang si X squared. Combining like terms, 100 and 36 are constant. So, pagsamahin sila. So, magiging 100 minus 36 equals, bring down lang si X squared. So, 100 minus 36 is 64. Bring down X squared. So, let's apply extracting square root. So, makakancel na ito. 2 and the radical. Maging X na lang siya. Equals, square root of 64 is positive 8 and negative 8. Pero, dahil ang tinatanong dito measurements, we will use the positive value. So, X here is 8 meters. Therefore, the ladder reached 8 meters high.
Thank you for listening. Hope you learned a lot. If you have questions, feel free to send a message in our official page, Math Theme, Mandaluyong Teachers of Mathematics, or send a message to your math teachers. Again, this is Ma'am Lea Bikimora saying, Math-sayang Math-aral, nang tayo'y Math-tuto.